political class, definitely it will be processed in a record of time. But when issues that touch on issues on Kenyans at large, we can see these matters taking sweet time to process them. And here and there, we have seen many a times we don't have quorum in Parliament.
Yeah, in fact, the Speaker was
these issues are done conveniently. Where it suits the political class, it's processed very fast. Where it is meant to serve the people, it's not. Particularly if it dents or puts them in an awkward situation. A good example is putting in place an IBC. The political class has deliberately frustrated that position because they know as soon as we have a working IBC, the next stage will be the people of Kenya recalling them. Because remember the anger that we witnessed in June 25th during the Gen Z protest is still there, and it has not gone. And you can see now, I'm just reading the Daily today, I can see there is it's called Explain of the Proposed Tax Law, Amendment Bill of 2024. It is, in a way, it is reintroducing the issues that were rejected in the finance bill that led to the protest. But I can see in a very clever manner. So these are things that we are going to witness that pile up again, and it won't be long when we see other serious protests. As I conclude on the issue of realignments, definitely the political class having participated in the ouster of DP Gachagua, we expect that people are going to demand things here and there. And in the event that the Kenya Kwanza or the government side is not going to honor those deals that they entered into, then we are staring at further political realignment. Probably even now Gachagua coming in as a partner, and this time round I am sure he's going to ensure that he signs a shareholding agreement, because if he had a shareholding agreement, believe me you, Trevor, it will be very difficult for him to be ousted as he has been processed through. So I will not be surprised if by the mere fact that Gachagua's case continue to lie in court, I'll not be surprised that this guy will start campaigning very actively, because as it stands today, he's not barred from participating in political issues or holding public office until the impeachment case is done and dusted.
Okay. Let me hear what Kumola has to say in terms of going forward. What should Professor Kithure Kindiki now think about, and also the government as well? Because, like Willis had said, the realignments has been done, and also the Uri also alluded to it. The realignments have been done. So now the people are wondering, so what's in it for us? And I think that's either Langata Road, and they're actually just coming in. Yes, that's a Montokedo, now the designate Deputy President, Professor Kithure Kindiki, making its way through to KICC. That's the Langata Road area. They're just coming in. They should be in town maybe in the next 6 minutes or so. But what now should the focus be on?
Trevor, what we are seeing there shows you that power is sweet, but it's also transient. A month ago, the same people were clearing for Gachagua. So
now they're clearing for someone else.
Yes, and there will be another DP, one way or the other, in a couple of years.
Yeah.
So, of course, my classmate here, Willis, is also the deputy party leader for Safina. Yeah. And God willing, his dreams will come true since they have a leader. Look, I think that elections in 2027 will most likely be won based on economic policies and social policies that this government
and not ethnic mobilization.
Most likely not. I am not ruling out ethnic-based voting, but the fact is the demographics are changing so fast, and the group that I teach, the group that I interact with, are not so ethnicized as is my generation and the generation ahead of us. So I think that Professor Kindiki, who is a brilliant guy, and the president and their team should now refocus, let their legal team fight the petitions in to improve the economic well-being of the average person, the mamambogas we keep talking about, to implement social justice reforms, to improve security of the country without being perceived to be violating human rights, because that also has a constituency. And even the papers today are indicating that our international partners are not very happy with the perceived abductions state-led abductions that are taking place, of course, disappearances of activists and all that. So I think that they should really do a lot of reforms based on their agenda. You know, both of these coalitions had very good on-paper policies, talking about economic improvement, lowering cost of living, focusing on the hustlers, and obviously healthcare reforms. I am one of those, and this is the first time I'm talking about this, I'm one of those who support healthcare reforms. I think, since I've lived in countries where there's universal healthcare, I think properly designed and implemented universal healthcare is a good thing. It will, for those of us who are fairly known and who get requests to contribute to health issues, to contribute to education issues and all this, I think it will also help us reduce this black tax, this burden that we have from the village every now and then, if there is genuine universal health care. Because the money that I use, for example, per month, helping treat people, majority of whom I don't know, contributing to funerals and all this is too much. And it's not sustainable.
Yeah.
So healthcare reforms, I think, is a good thing. I've also been in jurisdictions that have universal free education, free public education, where your status does not matter. And also means tested, where those who are rich pay more. And I know it works. So I am also one of those who is supporting reforms in education sector, particularly in higher education, in technical education, that is obviously designed to secure the jobs of the future. The bigger question is that everyone seems to be concerned that the implementation of these reforms is not really well explained, is perhaps overburdensome, or perhaps hurried, or not gone through, perhaps overburdensome, or perhaps hurried, or not gone through what you will call a testing period. So Professor Kindiki, being the scholar he is, well-traveled as he is, should be able to advise the government, lead the team that will implement these reforms in a manner that responds to concerns of the ordinary members of the public. If they don't do that, and yesterday's Daily had a lot of stories about chronic illness patients who probably are not being served at the moment by the reforms that have not been integrated, then of course you can expect a lot of dissatisfaction, you can expect a lot of rebellion, and then obviously then the changes in the political landscape will not count come 2027. Having said that, I have consistently agitated for structured coalitions in this country. And I'm happy that after every election, after all this infighting, whatever, the country seems to embrace some form of coalitions, however informal. So I hope that they also take opportunity of this, the political lull, to come up with a clear framework for parties to enter into pre- or post-election coalitions, not based on positions, but based on harmonization of agenda, which is achievable within 5 years. You know, you can't do everything within 5 years. So you better focus on 2-3 things that must be achieved. And if those come through a coalition agreement that gives the ruling party and the minority party, whatever formation, some legroom to work together for the betterment of Kenyans, I think that will be good. All said and
I believe this is the Deputy President designate, Professor Kithure Kindiki, is at the office of the Harambee House, where he's still, or that's him seeing of his staff before he officially goes on to KICC, and he's just been received. I believe those are some of the last moments of pictures, was him as a CS for Interior. The PS of Molo is already there for PS for Interior. That's, and also several of them there. So that's like a final picture that they take as the initial team before he heads into KICC. When he comes out from KICC, he will now be the Deputy President right after this from 10 a.m. I believe